So, good evening, everyone. So, we are here yet again with our Parivartan student guidance program. So, like every time, we bring a expert from their core domains, and this time also we have an expert with us. So, we have been discussing a lot about studies pursuing from abroad. So, again, on the same lines, today we'll be discussing about choosing PhD or higher studies from international universities and going beyond the borders of our country. So today with us we have Sakshi. So hi Sakshi, welcome you on board.
Hi, namaste everyone.
Yeah. So Sakshi has joined us from Singapore itself. So just to give a small brief about Sakshi, she has been, she was born in Sasaram, a small town in Bihar, and then she has completed her graduation from Deen Dayal Upadhyay College in Delhi, from Delhi University. And then she cracked the IIT JAM and GATE exams. And then she has done masters in chemistry from NTU, and during his time, she has worked in smart energy and thermal transport labs with the Department of Mechanical Energy. And now she is pursuing her PhD in mechanical energy and aerospace engineering, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. So we'll not waste much of our time, and then I will ask Sakshi only to give further introduction about herself, and then take us further into the journey to go and pursue PhD from outside. Yeah, over to you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, everyone who are or watching this show in Parivartan. It's very nice to be here. So, just giving a very brief introduction about myself because he already introduced me so well. I'm Sakshi, and I was born in Sasaram in Bihar. Then I finished my schooling from there, and then I went to graduation in chemistry from Deen Dayal Upadhyay College in University of Delhi. After that, I went to IIT Gandhinagar for my masters in chemistry, and there I got the exposure of research and engineering as well. And I joined a mechanical lab, which was smart energy and thermal transport lab. And from there, I thought that my interest is really in application, with some blend of science and chemistry, especially. So I decided to choose PhD either in materials or mechanical, and I got PhD admission in mechanical and aerospace engineering at NTU Singapore. And right now I am in my first year. I just joined 2 months back, and here in Singapore. That's it.
Okay. So, straight away, the first question which I would like to ask, and so that our audience may get to know about you, what made you to choose this PhD from NTU, or going ahead of the borders of our country?
So it's a good saying that wherever you are, you want to go a step ahead. That's what
Yeah.
everyone do in their life. So I went for like graduation in DU. So the next thing which any student in science would like to go will be an IIT for sure in India. So I tried for an IIT, and I got IIT Gandhinagar for my masters. After that, I had a choice either to go to some other IIT, maybe IIT Bombay or IIC Bangalore for my PhD, or I should go abroad. That was the next step. So that's how I thought that this time I should give up a big jump and I should try going abroad. And that's why I came for a PhD outside. The second reason to choose a PhD outside is a good work and life balance. And the international exposure in your CV really makes it very easy to get academic position in India. So I mean, it's very important to go outside at least for one position before you become an accommodation in India. So yeah, these are the two factors which I really consider before applying.
And like if we talk about the opportunities which one should explore after graduation, so
Mhm.
what you will say about that?
So honestly, PhD was not my first choice when I was in graduation. When I was really young, I really want to go like for cracking UPSC and everything, like everyone in Bihar like really dream of. But during COVID, I realized that my passion is really in research and science, and I should not waste that. Um, and then I decided to go for a master's in chemistry itself, and I gave my entrance examination. After masters, when I reached, when I landed up in IIT Gandhinagar, I realized that research is really really interesting, and yeah, going for a PhD would be a dream thing. So that's how I decided to go for a PhD. But there are other opportunities, depends on how someone looks for their life. So there might be some people who might look for competitive examinations after graduation, because that's I think basic eligibility to have that. So after graduation, if they are really interested for higher studies, then they should go. But if they are not, they should not delay it, they should start preparing from the graduation itself. And the competitive exams, like for civil services, for CDS, like defense, and there are all other examinations which they want to consider. In science, mostly in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, these are very hardcore subjects. They, if you are not studying a bit, you are not going a step ahead, it's very hard to find a job. um, uh, because they don't have many real life applications.
Yeah.
So so if you really want to study maths, physics, or chemistry, and are really interested into, you should go for a master's, and then you should look for a job opportunities, or maybe higher studies, like PhD.
Okay, so like you were discussing that there are very less of options. So just
Yep.
wanted to know more about like core sciences only. You have done chemistry, right? You after your graduation you did masters. So just a question off track. So if not PhD, what were the other options a person can explore? Like you did well and then you got admitted to NTU for PhD, right? But not, if not PhD, then what are the other options for the sciences, pure sciences people?
Yeah, so this is like a really good question. So when I was in my master, it's not like that there are not job opportunity after your masters. You can go for like, especially in chemistry, where there is a lot of dependence of industries, maybe cosmetics, pharmaceutical, or chemical industry. So they really depend on chemists. So there are a lot of job opportunities in chemistry. In mathematics and physics, it's more difficult because they are theoretical subjects. So going for a job in coaching would be a good option for mathematics and physics. But in chemistry, you can join industry, because after your experience for some years in industry, you will you will you can really do well in those area, and can even pursue higher studies if you want to.
Okay. So now coming to that PhD only, I mean, what I mean, what made you to think, okay, that PhD is to be done? First of all, that is the first question, and then second is, you told that you got offers to do PhD from India also. So why you chose not India and abroad? So first two questions, then okay, follow up will be there.
So as I mentioned, everyone wants to go ahead, step ahead. I do had offer from India as well, but when I like when I really went to IIT Gandhinagar and I joined the lab, my professor's first question was like, "What do you want to do after your master? Just tell me, then you can. I will take you in my lab." Because I was from different background. I was like, "Sir, I really want to go for a PhD abroad." He said, "Abroad is a very broad word. How will you decide that you want to go abroad? Even I studied in abroad, but I think now opportunities in India are like really well." And then he gave me a very good suggestion that if you are really landing in the top universities with a very good professor and everything in your PhD, then you should just go there, because it will be like dream come true in studying in a top universities. And if you really are going somewhere which is like comparable to IITs in India, then you can even consider doing a PhD in India as well, because uh, PhD in abroad is not that easy. Not just getting admission, but even surviving here is not like very easy. You will have to be like really adaptable to the things, to the weather, to the food, to the people. And yeah, so I think I was ready for that. I had a good adaptivity quotient, so I thought that I will be able to do it from outside. So just if I got the offer from like um, from the top 15 world QS ranking college or university, then why shouldn't I go? And Singapore is not that far as well, so that was also a very good factor that I considered before going for a PhD. Initially I had a mind that I'll try to go to US and Europe, but when I got into NTU Singapore, it has a very, very good ranking, um, not just comparable, but better than very good universities in US and UK as well. So I thought that it's so good that it's so close to home, and I can go to a top university in the world, not just Asia. So that's how I decided to come to for a PhD in NTU
Excellent.
Singapore.
Yeah. So now, straight head on, what are the things that one should consider before applying for PhD abroad?
Yeah, that is very important, and this is a very subjective question. um, it depends on the person actually. There is no ideal country to be in. It's just that what is your priority. So mostly US, UK, Canada, Singapore uh, are four destination which I considered before getting the PhD position. So it depends on the duration of the PhD you want to do. So if you are really done with the coursework and you don't want to study much more and you want to do only research, then Europe would be the good one, because it has a like 3-year PhD program. If you really want to have more hands on, and you really want to study the subject for like 1.5 years, and then you want to go into research, then you should go for a US PhD. And if you want to do a PhD in 4 years, then you should come to Singapore. It's a 4-year PhD here. So depends on the duration as well. Depends on the quality and the type of life you want to live. So US is not good in terms of safety and all. So you cannot go outside during night and all. So some part of US. So you might consider the security as well, because you will be outsider at the end of the day. Europe is safe. You can have a good nightlife as well. And Singapore is a very disciplined country, so there is nightlife, but it's not as much. Everyone go to sleep at 10, and the dinner is done by 5:30, so before sunset. So it depends on how do you wanna live a life. And the third is the QS ranking of the college and the professor profile, which is the most important thing. If you are really getting a very reputed professor in your field and getting a very good QS ranking or other ranking which are even considered in India as well. Because if you want to go for an academic position in India, then you should consider what are the parameters of ranking that is considered in India as well. So QS ranking is one that is considered in India. Uh, for those who don't know, actually, if you are coming for the if you got a PhD position in top 200 world QS ranking, then you don't need a net examination uh, for applying for a faculty position as well. So even if the rule change and it's like you need both, still you won't need both because you studied in the top 200 colleges. So yeah, these are the things that should be really considered before coming. So it's like, I will just sum it up. It's the first is the type of life you want to live, the duration of the PhD you want to do. The third would be the security, for me at least, the security. And the fourth should be the that you know someone, or maybe there are enough people from your country as well, because at the end of the day you need some belongingness
Social
there.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, social life, that's true.
exactly. So, I mean, taking example from your own experience, we would like to know, I mean, how a person can know the PhD options from abroad. What are the websites, or what are the ways to contact, and what is the way the professor helps? So, all these things we would like to know from your very own experience. That how you
uh,
came to know that okay, some PhD is available in NTU or US, like you are talking, and Europe.
Yep, that's true. That's a good question. I think my father is watching this. Thank you. He wrote a message. I can see.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So, what was the question?
The question, okay, okay, I'll repeat the question. So I was just
Oh
asking
yeah,
that,
yeah, got it.
yeah, relating with your own experience of applying for the PhD, how any person like who has pursued masters from any Indian college, how they can know that there are such kind of PhD options available either in Singapore, Europe, US, and what are the ways the professor helps or the peers help to get an application over there. Yeah.
That's a really good question actually. So you won't believe there are excellent WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, who really float uh, good PhD positions, even mostly funded PhD positions, and even postdoc positions as well. So first, if I think initially one should be very aware for doing a PhD. I don't think so only intelligent or talented people go for a good college or good PhD. I think talented, intelligent, and aware people go for a good PhD outside. So I think the first is that at least in your third semester, if your master is for fourth semester, then in third semester you should start following what's happening in your field. Where is like uh, whoever is publishing what do you like, read papers. So there are like first is the groups you should be in. So join Telegram groups, search for the keywords PhD positions, funded PhD positions, research, or maybe something like that. Then you can join from there. The second is to have a good Twitter account that is only focused for for just getting the positions info. So everyone who is like in research, they should know that the professors for some reason are very active on Twitter. They really post that they have some funded PhD positions in the lab and they're looking for a PhD student maybe. So having a Twitter account and following good researchers, good colleges, good school, good people, good journals are very important. Then the third would be like going to the websites of the universities you have ever heard of. It's there is no issues searching that world's top 20 colleges, and then you look in their profile. Then you go to the faculty positions, I mean the faculties who are like in your field. You can search the research area they are working into, how active they are, what is their group, what is the diversity, what is the gender ratio, everything you can consider. Everything is there on the website. So the good part, I think, that is in science is that the lab websites are really updated. So not just the college one, their personal lab websites are really updated. You will get every news from there. You can even see that they are advertising a PhD positions, and they will surely give the contact email. So there is no concept of phone number for sure. You just have to drop mail. But ma- for the mail, it should be like completely professionally drafted and sent at the correct time zone. I mean, considering the time zone of their country. So the third would be like going to the college and the lab website. And the fourth, which is very unique, but I think it's very helpful for a lot of people who really are like very active in research, is to read the papers. Whatever research you are doing on maybe electrochemistry, maybe robotics, maybe artificial intelligence, I think you should read the papers of the top journals. See who are the professors, who are the students working, which colleges they are from, and you should look for the PhD requirement in their labs, their colleges as well. You can even write to a professor if you like some idea and you want to work upon like an extension. So you can drop them a mail, but the mail should be like very very intelligently crafted. So yeah, these are the way you can go through this is something you should do before October. I must say, whatever I'm saying, this should be done before October, because after October the applications start flowing in. So you have to take a decision and a call which university are you going to apply for. So applications are not free. There are a lot of colleges whose application is like really expensive for Indian. It will be it will be approx 7,000 to 10,000 per application. So that's why these research is very important, because you will have that idea which professor replied to you, wants to take, or is not interested at all. He replied to you, thank you so much for your email, I really like that you want to join, but I don't have a position yet. So why will you apply to the college and waste your money? You will better go to the different university if there is only one professor in your field in that particular college. So that is what I did before October. I I was into the groups. I was into the I was onto the Twitter to have a check. I was looking onto every college websites and lab websites to have to know that what's going on. And then I really cold mail. Uh, uh, for cold mails is approaching a professor freely onto the mail for a PhD position. So I really cold mail a lot of professor about my interest, and whether they really want to have a PhD student this semester, or they are really interested in my profile. Then I wanted to apply there. So that's how I cold mail them, and that then I applied to the college. So keeping the financial part like sorted, you should do this before October, so that if there is any other additional requirement, maybe TOEFL, GRE, IELTS, then you can at least have some time to give it, right? So after October, then one should focus on the applications in US universities first till December, because almost the deadlines of the US universities PhD is mostly in December, and in Singapore as well in December. And then the UK and the European university, because they have a deadline at least from till March, I guess. So that should be the order as well uh, to follow.
Okay, and now since you told something about funding also in between, so
Yeah, yeah,
how to go about that fact? I mean, like you told that the application fee itself is very, very high, and then
extremely.
again, the PhD fee is also high for some of the colleges. I guess I have heard for US. Okay, so just want to know with your own experience about the application fee and the fee for the curriculum and the scholarship, that how we can go about it to pursue the scholarship wherever we are going. Yeah.
So I mean, I really want to focus on this, that a lot of people spend a lakhs of rupees for getting a good PhD outside. But if you are working smartly, you don't need money at all. I mean, I really mean it. Um, so there are a lot of funded PhD positions that will start funding you since the day you joined. You really joined. Even if you joined in between of the month, you will get the money of that month. So it's like that. But before that, the part is like it's not that expensive if you are like wise enough to handle. For me, as I mentioned, I really first, I mean, I cold mail the professors first, so that I could understand that whether I should apply to their universities or not, because it's expensive. The second, which is like very important, there are a lot of universities that waive off their application fee as well, but most of them won't do, because it's an application fee. Once they expect everyone's to fill that. But if you really think that you will have the problem of face of paying such a huge amount of money, then you just can mail them. You will have those contacts on the website, on the on the admission process website of the university. You can mail them, you can ask them. They might need some supporting documents, maybe your bank statement, and they will just waive off your application fee. So that's how you can get the waiver as well. And the third is that you also can give priority to those university who really have their application free. So it doesn't mean that the entire department will have like the even university have different schools, and every school have different application process. So maybe department of chemistry have the application charge, but cognitive department of cognitive might not have the charge. So I think cognitive science in MIT don't charge for PhD. The PhD positions, I think that Rice University in US, it's a very good private university. It's funded. So even they don't charge any money, so you should be aware of which university is charging what application fee. Apart from application fee, I don't think so there is any other charge. You have to be a before admission. After admission, yeah, there are a lot of things like visa and these stuffs come in. But till then, I don't think so. Apart from yeah, yeah, application fee and the examination, you might uh, need to give maybe GRE, TOEFL, or IELTS. But for PhD positions, mostly TOEFL or IELTS English proficiency examination might be waived off, because if you get the proficiency English proficiency certificate from your undergrad or maybe postgrad, if the college agrees. And a GRE you might need to give, you might not need to give as well. So it's not as compulsory. You just have to check the website, because there are different requirements for different universities. So that's the only money I think you have to give. You are mute.
The application fee can be waived off depending upon university to
Yep.
university and course
Yep.
to course, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so about the scholarships over there.
So this is like a really messy area. Even I understood when I got admitted. Uh,
Yeah.
so um, Mostly I will suggest people to go for a funded PhD, because PhD is like a really long degree to have. For 4 years to fund yourself outside India is not a big deal. Things are really expensive elsewhere. And I think so definitely go for a funded PhD position. Self funded PhD, I won't recommend it to anyone. It will be like really tough to manage your academics as well as finance together, because you will have to take both headaches as well. So there are several funds available. I i have like no knowledge whether government of India provide any such kind of scholarship to go abroad. Definitely in India they do, but not abroad. I think so, because there is like a lot of students going for a PhD um, every year. But there are funding agencies that particular country who funds it. So there can be Ministry of Education of that particular country that funds. There might be a professor fund, because professor write grants for various industry, for various like for to the ministry education renewable. There are a lot of technical things that they write grants, and they get funded from the government of that particular country. And even in the grant, it mentioned that they will sponsor fully to maybe three PhD scholars and one postdoc scholar for that particular project in that area. So that's how things are funded. And there is university funding. uh, for here, maybe in NTU, it's NTU research scholarship. Almost 80% people, uh, I think in my friend circle have NTU research scholarship. I have Ministry of Education scholarship. So the funding agency might be different, but everything else is the same. The monthly stipend, the allowances, the leave, the gap hours, uh, the medical insurance, everything is the same. Just the funding agency is different. That's why we mention fully funded PhD position. No, we don't mention from where it came from, because technically it's very messy to understand how the funding thing works. uh, uh, am I audible? Hello, Pankaj sir, am I audible?
You are audible. You can go on. Sorry, some disturbance on my side. You can go on. Yeah, you are audible.
uh, yeah, 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 yeah. So that's how, I mean, that's what I've explained, how the funding things
Am
work.
I audible,
But
Sakshi?
yeah, yeah, you are audible now.
Yeah.
So I was just explaining how the funding thing works, and I mean how the funding came, it doesn't matter,
Okay.
because it's very technical to understand. Professor have different funds, different grants. There are so many sources to fund a PhD position. So it's just that you make sure under which funding you are, what are the things, requirements you have to like be stick to, and those stuff, I mean. But I mean, it will be my personal
Okay.
suggestion
So, I
to
mean,
clarify all those
you
things.
get admitted to a PhD program outside. Okay. So, just share a bit of the first day or the starting days hands on experience, how the days go on over there. What
Uh,
are the kinds of assistance that you get because you are completely an outsider and going to a new university?
I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I think I'm really lucky
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
part. Singapore is really very internationally welcoming. There is like you will find every nationality, every food varieties here. The first when I came here, it was like, that's why I mentioned that when you are considering a country to live in, you should consider the people you gonna be surrounded by. So I just my professor, after getting my after getting the official offer letter and everything, I was moving to from India to Singapore. I shared my detailed plan when I'm coming, what time and everything. My professor connected me with with my lab mates here, who will be taking care of me when I am coming and in the lab as well for some time. So for me everything was sorted because I really have a very friendly lab environment. So when I came, everything was almost done. My room was allotted, and my keys were in my hand when I came to Singapore, uh, in the NTU campus. uh, I think things were not that difficult for me, but might be difficult for some people, maybe coming who have no connects. But I do have like connects from my lab, so they really helped me accommodating uh, here. If Did you ask what is the like daily schedule of us? Hello, Pankaj sir, are you audible?
Actually, am I audible?
Uh, I mean, am I audible to you? I could see some messages. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah. Now you are audible.
I don't know what is happening today. Okay, so the network is
Is there?
interrupting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
yeah, I
I
was
mean,
just
you discussed about the, yeah.
I mean, I
Go
discussed about
on.
that. I discussed about that. If you are, you have really. I mean, the professor will connect you to your seniors and everyone, and they will really take care of you. I mean, for some time at least, so that you can
Yeah.
get used to the lab and the locations, because everything looks very similar. And honestly, I just get lost getting the right direction for some places. So it will be same for for everyone for some time, so they will really take care about everything. So it's not a big issue. Also, in terms of like accommodation, it was very easy in Singapore, because it's a country where even PhD students get accommodation inside the campus, unlike in US. So that's what I even was looking for. That if I'm going for like a PhD outside India for the very first time, I really need at least a hall accommodation in my first year. So Singapore has that, even in NTU and NUS as well. So it's really easy if you are in hall, because then you are in like campus, everything is available. So it I don't think so it's an issue. But if you are going for UK and US, then you have to fix your accommodation as well. You have to arrange it before you are going there, and they
Right.
are expensive. Yeah, I mean, expensive housing.
So, like you were told just about expensive things, so we would like to know more about the financial aspects
Yep.
for a PhD candidate in a abroad situation. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I even missed that point actually. When you are like really considering going for a PhD, you should look what you are looking for in terms of stipend as well. So there are some country who really give good stipend. There are some country it's like okay just to survive for one person. So if you really wants to give a financial help to your parents, then you should go to the country for a good PhD, where there the cost of living and the stipend is like have a very good difference. That's how you are going to save, and you can send it back to India. If you are like not responsible enough due to some good reasons, then you can like go for like really good colleges in anywhere in the world, because you are not like really wanna save a lot of money, or you don't have to take any responsibility back in your home. So in Singapore, the cost of living and everything is high, but the stipend is even very high. So it's very comfortable doing a PhD. At least I can see my seniors as well. They are really comfortable even in their fourth year, so it should be fine. In US also, the stipend is good, and but the cost of living is like a bit higher. So Europe depends. Europe have a very high stipend, but in some part of Europe the housing is really expensive. There are some part which is not expensive. So even you can consider all those things. Also, ticket fare should be something I've realized my friend consider, because the ticket fare of America coming to India and going back is like really high. Europe also, but it's comparatively cheaper. So you should take care of all the aspects, medical too. But I think mostly funded PhD have medical insurance, so it's not a bit worrisome. But yeah, this is something you should Google for yourself. This is something we need to Google for ourselves, that what are our expense. But every university gives the cost of living in that particular country for your PhD. So you can compare that what is the stipend you are provided and what is the cost of living there. I think there is some issue going on with your network. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So
were huh.
yeah, I forgot. I mean, a lot of students might have I might want to get some idea of the stipend. The stipend here, which I get in my first year of my PhD. So it's almost like an India. There is some junior JRF and then SRF after qualifier, or maybe India. there is some other exam. So after my qualifies, my stipend will increase. Before that, for 1.5 hour, for 1.5 year, the my stipend in Singaporean dollar is 2,700, which is like equivalent to 1,70,000 in India. That's monthly. But I don't have to cover any kind of fee, any tuition fee or maybe any other fee. So it's like my pocket money. That is something that is for me. I don't have to pay for anything.
Okay,
Food
and
food
one,
food and accommodation I pay. Yep.
yeah. One more aspect of it, I mean, are there opportunities like in Europe and all? We get to work outside also to meet the expenses. So,
Yeah, that's true.
would like to know more about it. Yeah.
So the thing is that every country have their own rules regarding the work hours. For Singapore, with student pass, I think it's 12 hours a week or maybe 16 hours a week. I have to check. For US, it might be different. For UK, it might be different. But for PhD, it's very tough to do a side job as well, because PhD is like almost full time. So mostly fully funded PhD positions are recommended. But for masters, I can see a lot of people who are doing masters and they are doing part-time job, because in masters there are not enough scholarships available in any country. Even if I go for a masters in Singapore or US or Europe or maybe somewhere else, there's not enough scholarship there. So if you want to go for a good masters, and if you get an IIT, I would suggest one should go for a masters in IIT, because I think you really have to like be very serious outside for your masters, because you have to do your studies as well, and you have to do a part time maybe for your pocket money at least. Even if, I mean, you can get a loan for your education, but still cost of living is even higher, so you need to do a part time job. But for PhD, I don't think so. um, a lot of people go for a part time job, because if PhD is itself a full time, and the professor try their best to fund their student with a very good amount of money, because even they want their research to be like the best. So I think that's the thing. I mean, I don't know what is the working limit of Singapore, because I never checked it.
Okay. So you just uttered the word professor. So just to know more about the culture, I mean, it is like more of a social culture with the professor as compared to India when we go outside, because there is a diverse plethora of people who are available over there. So how do they deal with this diversity in abroad? And what is your personal experience while working with these professors? Yeah.
So it's a very interesting question. It's also a very subjective question as well. It depends on the professor first. Some professors are very friendly. They will invite you for the to their home for a party. Some might be very professional, and they will just talk about your professional work. That's it. There is no social discussion. But you still, there is no professor, I don't think so there is any professor who won't discuss your personal problems or maybe the mental issues you are to going with. There are a lot of people who are going to help. There are professional help, there are personal help by the professors itself. So my professor, I'm working with Professor Hortense and Professor Irfan. Both of them, one is French and one is Chinese. So I don't think so nationality do a part. It's the person uh, who actually makes it like this. So I think mostly outside things are really professional. It's not like India, but it depends on the professor as well. So I have two lab groups here. One is my co-supervisor's lab group. There is no one who don't understand Mandarin. So uh, before uh, before joining to that group, I think everyone do their lab meeting in Mandarin. But when I came, everyone just in a day, everyone like switched to English. And I understand the difficulty of like switching it, but they did it for like adjusting me. So even outside India, things are like really kind and like everyone is very cooperative. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So this
But
question has come. I was, yeah, okay. You go on, then I'll put the question.
uh, I think someone asked the question.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you were saying something, so I just put the
Oh no, no.
question back.
I just thought that. I mean, I was mentioning that question only. Yep.
Yeah. So there is a question basically, since you will be also be completing your PhD soon. So what are the opportunities you will be looking forward, or what any person can look forward for the opportunities after finishing the PhD from abroad? Yeah.
Yep. So the first and the like the top one, which I think 50%, not more than 50% people wants to do, is to go for a faculty position, either in India or maybe the country they are living in, or maybe somewhere outside. Even I am looking for, like, I want really want to go to academia, and I really want to be a professor somewhere in IIT. So that is what I am looking for. But there are a lot of job opportunities even after PhD. Depends on the subject as well, a bit. In humanities, most of the people will go for like academic position. But in science and in engineering, it's not the case. PhD add a very special special experience in research. So my work is somewhat related to robotics as well. So I think there are a lot of industries for like who really wants research oriented, who have really research oriented good positions in their labs. There are a lot of private labs outside India who really do research. That's it, they research and they publish excellent research in excellent journals. That's what their job is.
Right.
So it's like that. So yeah, you can go to industry, you can go to academic positions as well. I think industry is like a very broad term. In computer science, you might join a lot of good companies. So for like for the better positions, in at least in computer science, for better positions, like the top one, they really need to have someone who have actually done their PhD in computer science in that particular field.
Okay. And now one question again from my side. What about postdoc from after PhD?
Yeah, that's a good choice to have a postdoc in some lab or maybe industry, whatever you like to go forward, I mean, in future. So most of the, I mean, the faculty positions in India are now really getting very competitive. I think possible to get a PhD, to get a good faculty position after your PhD. You need to have some postdoc because now in India as well, the labs are really established. So at least in IITs and NITs, you must have a postdoc, at least a one, or there are people who do 2 to 3 postdoc. But if you see postdoc as a job, then it's fine. I mean, we can do a multiple postdoc before getting a faculty position. But
Yeah.
I
In
think,
my
yeah, in science, postdoc is like really common. We have to do a postdoc
right.
before going to a faculty position.
Right. So, like just to add to what you told, so industry also offers good opportunities in,
Yep,
because every institution in India, way back in India, they have their research and development centers. So people who are from the core sciences background, like you are, there is a lot to offer for them. Like the companies, if we talk about IOCL, Hindustan Petroleum, NTPC, all these people have research and development centers wherein core chemistry people or core sciences people get good opportunities when they come from outside doing PhDs and postdocs. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I mean, we have covered all the things, mostly like how to think about. I mean, when to think about what is the application process, the
Yep,
fee which is being involved, the process, and the job opportunities. Finally,
yep.
so just since we are also towards our closing time, so just a summary we wish to have from your side for the
Okay.
people who are willing to just now willing or maybe willing in 1 year or the next 6 months
Yep,
to offer PhD abroad. Your final words.
yep. So one should start doing research what they like and what they want to do in a PhD, because once you cold mail a professor, or maybe apply to to a university, it's gonna be a very long form for the university, and it's gonna be a bit like a good number of documents you need to submit to the professor as well. You should have a good statement of purpose, which is like, what do you want to do in PhD, why do you want to do a PhD, and what are your aspirations. in research, and you should have like good motivation. Then you should finish all these things and start all the things before October. In October, you should like be very clear which university are going to apply to, what are their requirements. You should fulfill all the requirements, whether in gate, DRE, TOEFL, and everything. Then by December you should apply to the colleges. Also, I should mention that one can PhD is like very personalized way of getting somewhere. It's different for me, it's different for anyone else. So I think you should maintain a sheet of list of professors, universities, when the deadlines are, what are the positions they are floating, and all, for yourself. Nobody else, I think, will be able to help in that. And then you should follow the timeline. By December you should like almost finish the application for at least two countries, America and Singapore. Still have time for the August intake. You still have some time for the European countries. You can cold mail them. Mostly European countries labs applications are free. ETH Zurich, it's a top university, but it's free. I mean, the application there is free. Then by March and April you have to wait for your results. After March and April, then if when you get your like if you get selected somewhere, then you will have to do a lot of formalities and all. But I don't think so it takes a lot of you just need to be very aware of what is things. You can Google everything. Everything is there on the website, YouTube, and you can email a lot of helping hands from the website. So there are a lot of student groups and a lot of administration involved in helping the new intake. In August you will be like joining the university. If somehow you could not land in the August intake, you can also go to for the December one. In December, still, I mean, you can apply in the for that. The timeline is very different. You need to start applying for July. And then you will like you can join in December. I think the applications in December is less competitive because there are very few people who complete their graduation or maybe their degree in India, at least in December. So December is a bit easier to apply, but you will have that 6 months gap, which is absolutely fine if you are getting a good PhD. I applied. I mean, I got the PhD position much before than I was expecting. I got it in November 3rd, maybe. Yep, November 3rd. So professor personally interviewed me, took my presentation of what I am working on in IIT Gandhinagar. It was a like research presentation, and then some personal and research related questions. And after that, again, there was one interview conducted by the NTU Singapore. Uh, for admitting, it's not just professor who can decide that this is I have funding, so I'll take what student I want to know. It's not like that. Then the school also see if that particular student is fit for you. And then that is like two to third, mostly 2 to 3 rounds of interview will be there. uh, yeah, 2 to 3. MIT have maybe 5 and 6. So yeah, that's something goes on in the timeline, because there are a lot of things that goes on once you are.
Right.
So yeah, once you get confirmation from professor, then you will have to do all these things. So I got in November for the August intake, because I was graduating in July, I cannot join before. So I joined in August, but I got like the result way back. So I didn't apply to a lot of universities because I was like, I knew it that I'm going to be here. So
Okay. So again, congratulations that you made it to NTU. Yeah. And thanks a lot for your precious time and your experiences that you have shared on the platform. And I think many people would be benefited, people who will be watching this video broadcast
yep, yep,
after
yep.
this. Yeah. And again, thanks a lot. And again, we would like to I mean, welcome you on board again in the near future when you'll be completing your PhD for yet another session to share your experiences here. And
Yeah,
so this is all.
that's gonna take at least 4 years maybe, because I just
Not
joined.
an issue.
Yeah, for those who are like watching this session and they really want to apply for a PhD, but they don't know how to start from. That's the most
Yeah.
difficult part. Just
Right.
begin is half done. One
Yeah.
should remember this, that just start it, then it's almost half done. If you have any
Right.
problem, you can just put on in the comment
Yeah.
section.
Right.
I think somehow I'll get those questions, and if not, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, you will definitely get. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if not, then you can just email me. I will just drop my email ID there. If you want to me for if you want really want help in SOP, motivation letter, or maybe CV or something, you just don't need to pay to the agent or everything. I didn't know that there are agents for this. I
Yeah.
came to know after I got the PhD. My
Yeah.
friend
Right.
told me, "Oh, you don't need to do it for me. I have agents." I don't know. Okay, do you have it? So you just don't need to spend the money on that. I mean, you can just put email. You can email me. If I will be able to help, I will surely help you.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Sakshi, once again.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
coming.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Parivartan platform, for giving me this opportunity. It is really nice because I saw the videos, and I used to watch the videos as well. I mean, I keep on watching
Yeah.
it because my father has been here as well. So I think there are really very qualified people on this platform, and I'm very young and unexperienced one. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.